All right, we will go ahead and get started here. We'd like to welcome Justin Thomas into the interview room at the 2022 RBC Canadian Open. Justin, with the tournament returning to Canada after 2 cancellations, how does it feel to be back in Canada?
Yeah, it feels great. This tournament and Toronto has done an unbelievable job of, for some reason, making me feel very special for being here. I don't feel that I deserve it, but everybody has been unbelievable. I mean, I remember that in 2019 and then again this year. It's very welcoming and everything to be here, and it's obviously a great event. It just has not worked in the schedule in years past, but deciding to try this year to play the weeks before the majors, I felt like this was something I needed to do, and it worked well to be back here.
Played 8 holes in the Pro-Am this morning, obviously a venue that you had not been to before. What are your initial impressions of the golf course? Yeah,
it's a cool track. I think it's very similar to the course in Hamilton we played in terms of it's very, very old school. It's pretty right in front of you. You have a lot of slope in the fairways. The greens also have a lot of slope, very severe. It's going to be a premium on hitting the fairways. The rough is very thick, and if you do hit the fairways, being able to control your distance and control your spin on these greens is huge because there's a couple false fronts. I mean, I've only seen 8 holes, but the holes I saw, a couple of the false fronts, the ball will roll quite a bit back. And, it seems like it's a place from, like I said, the holes that I saw that you could make some birdies, but it's also has some challenging aspects to it for sure.
All right, one more question for me before we take questions from the media. Obviously, coming off a great victory at the PGA Championship. How's your game feeling coming into this week?
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, I obviously didn't have the week I wanted at Colonial, but I would like to think I had a couple factors in there that had to do with that poor play. But, I just took kind of 4 or 5 days off. I went home. Everything from the PGA kind of hit me Friday of the Colonial, and I just went straight to Louisville and went and celebrated with my buddies, some of my high school friends. So that was fun to be able to do that and actually kind of enjoy that week, and took a couple more days off and then got back to it Thursday. So I feel like every day just getting a little bit better and more comfortable. And the main hope and thought this week is to try to get my game prepared and ready for the U.S. Open next week. And if we can play well and have a chance to win, then that's also great.
All right, we'll start right here in the front left.
Hi, Justin. Your decision to play here, was it solely because of the success you had playing the week before the PGA Championship, or was there any thought to maybe making this week sort of stand out considering what's going on over in England?
This is just a weird season for me in terms of scheduling. I mean, I feel like for the most part I can tell you in December every event I'm going to play the entire year, and there's still events that I don't know if I'm going to play the rest of this year. And I truly went into, I would have loved to commit to this event early or what I was going to do, but I truly was like, I need to see how I feel the week of the PGA to see if this is something that I want to do. So obviously after playing well at the PGA and feeling that it was a little bit potentially better or good preparation for me to play the week prior, and also geographically, it's not like, I think if this was here and maybe the U.S. Open was at Torrey Pines, I don't know that I would necessarily do it because it doesn't make sense logistically. So being as close as it is and being in very similar conditions, grass, all that kind of stuff, it just seemed like it was a great addition for the schedule.
And one follow-up. This being the 111th running of a national open, a tournament that's been won by Hagen, Trevino, Tiger, Snead, is that something that, in your mind, makes your tour special, this tournament special, and separates it from any other league or something that might pop up?
Yeah, it's the PGA Tour has a lot of long-standing, great relationships with tournaments, courses, cities, countries, and it is cool. I mean, this is an event, obviously, I along with many others that I've grown up and they just kind of stand the test of time, or they're always on the schedule. They are going to be, and RBC has been a great, sponsor and willing to do that for so long. And it's just, it's cool. Like you said, you look at the history of this event, it kind of speaks for itself. The people that have been able to win this tournament, I'm sure this has changed a lot of careers and lives for guys that have maybe won for the first time or done something in the season that's kind of been a deal breaker for them. But it's just, yeah, I mean, the opportunity to come to a place in the tournament that's so historic, just like a lot of the events on the PGA Tour, definitely, makes it a little bit more special.
Adam?
Hey, Justin. For the first two rounds, you're paired with Rory and with Corey Connors, of course, Canadian. I don't know if you see Corey very much in South Florida still, but if you do, can you speak to his game a little bit and what impresses you about Corey?
Yeah, I see him a good bit. We don't play golf together at all. I mean, I see him out at Bears Club practicing, and I mean, he's really impressive. I've always said that, I mean, I would think he'll do really well at a course like this. He drives the ball on a string. He's a great ball striker. And he's obviously been a great ambassador and great for the game of golf in Canada. I mean, he just kind of goes under the radar. He's such a nice dude, and just, I mean, I've played, I think, amateur and college golf against him. So, I mean, we've been playing against him with each other for a while. But, he's just someone I feel like that goes under the radar and just kind of goes about his business and doesn't, necessarily do anything that's like crazy, but it's just, he's always going to be right there, and he seems like a guy that, could play out on tour for a really long time.
Just a quick follow-up. 9 of the top 25 in the world are here this week, including, obviously, yourself. Can you kind of just speak to the strength of the field the week before, U.S. Open guys who are near the top of their games, looking to prepare nicely for next week at the U.S. Open? For
sure. I mean, myself, I know that it's crazy what this is. I don't even know. This is my 7th or 8th season, and I'm still trying to figure out what works best for me from time to time before big events. And so I'm sure some other guys are doing the same. And, yeah, I think it's great. It's unfortunate a lot of tournaments don't get the fields that they deserve because a lot of tournaments are great. They're have unbelievable golf courses, unbelievable fan and just support in the local towns, but just where they fall on the schedule doesn't allow it to get a field like that. So, this is one of those tournaments that deserves a great field, but just doesn't get it every year because of when it falls in the schedule. So I'm glad to be here and glad to be a part of a great field this week.
Bob?
Sorry for being the guy who's going to ask this question.
I knew it was coming.
Can you give us your thoughts on what's going on with the LIV League and the players who are now being announced to go over as well?
Yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, I think a lot of us are, I don't know if annoyed or tired is the right way. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, I've thought a lot about it, and it's like, look, like people are entitled to choose as they wish. It's like I don't dislike DJ now. I don't think he's a bad dude. I'm not going to treat him any differently. It's like he's entitled to choose as he wish. And I think that the day and age that we live in now, it's just so negative that, I mean, you see it in everything, sport, politics, whatever it is. It's like if you disagree with someone, you just feel that you're entitled to like hate them and talk bad about them and just bash their decision when everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You know what I mean? It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make him a bad person. Now I'm disappointed and I wish that he and others wouldn't have done it, but that's their decision, I've said it all along. It's like guys can do as they wish. If they want to go, they can go. If they want to stay, they can stay. Selfishly, I think and I know that the PGA Tour is the best place to play in the world. And, it's just the decision is theirs. And it is what it is. But I wish that it would take away, or I wish it wouldn't be taking away from the great storylines and things that are going on a tour that's been around for a very long time and is in one of the best places it's ever been. And, it's just a bummer that those guys won't be a part of it.
John?
Hey, Justin. John Shidley-Hill from the Canadian Press. You mentioned that Toronto's been really welcoming to you so far this week. Can you give an example of how the city has welcomed you with open arms so far?
I mean, it's just little things like at registration, It's like all the ladies there that were checking me in were just so hospitable. They're wanting to, do you need anything? Can we do anything for you? Do you want any recommendations on places to go? And I just remember that in 2019, I missed the cut in Columbus the week before, and I went in early, and I was able to go to the NBA Finals game the year that the Raptors won. So that was obviously really cool. I don't know. I mean, Toronto's a really cool city. I would love to be here on a non-golf tournament so I could experience it and enjoy it a little bit more. But, this is a work week, so it's time to get down to it.
As a follow-up, obviously this tournament hasn't been held since 2019. What are you expecting to see from the fans? They're pretty loud and vocal in 2019, and now they've had, sort of 3 years to get pent up.
I think it's very similar to the Northeast in the States. It's just it's passionate sports fans. I mean, obviously you have the NHL that's so prevalent up here, and just there's such a difference of an obnoxious sports fan and a passionate sports fan. I think a lot of the fans that are going to be out here just are very gracious and happy that this event is going on. I mean, obviously not having it for a couple of years, they're going to be excited, they're going to be ready, and they deserve that. Everybody in Canada and Toronto deserves this. So I'm excited to be here and a part of it, and I'm sure, playing with Rory and Corey, we're going to have some pretty nice crowds out there, so it'll be cool.
Would you say Alabama fans are passionate or obnoxious?
Well, we got a big fan base, so I'd like to say we probably have a fair bit of both.
All right, Justin, we appreciate the time and best of luck this week.
Thank you.